Good afternoon. We're back with more Marvel Champions, and today will be Gambit versus Sabretooth on expert difficulty. Gambit is a hero I am eager to try. Looking forward to it because he's so unique with this thwart from the alter ego ability. We want to see how good this is. We're playing Protection Gambit, which I think is the best aspect for him. Generally in solo, the best aspect for a hero is nearly always going to be leadership or protection. With aggression having its place in some scenarios with rushdown strategy. Anyway, let's get started. So, which of these do I want to keep? Not two expert defenses. The rest are fine. So do I want to thwart from his alter ego? It's going to be either thwart or attack. I think it's going to be thwart. So let's thwart. Look at the top two cards of the encounter deck. Discard one card. A 0 or a 3. So we thwart equal to the boost of the discarded cards. So that's going to be the 3. Or I could discard Assault. No, I'd rather the Brotherhood leave than Assault. We'll go ahead and flip to hero form. Let's place a charge counter. Let's go Molecular Acceleration for hard to ignore. Flow like water, jump flip, expert defense for Joe Costa. And attach a defense event to her. And then we'll thwart with her for 2 and get rid of Find the Senator. Move to phase 2. And then we'll draw 5. And with the molecular acceleration, I should have added another charge counter to Gambit. So, 1 threat. 1 attack from Sabretooth, which will go on Gambit. And we'll use Expert Defense. Buff him up to 6, which was not needed. We can hard to ignore. And then we need a healing card, and we need 2 encounter cards. Assault. So we knew that was coming, and that's going to go on Joe Costa. This attack defeats an ally, which it will. 2 threat. And Sabretooth gets a heal. And then we have the villain schemes for 1, 2, 3, 4. And Sabretooth gets a heal. Okay. Well, we're in a rough spot. It's a lot of threat. We can go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 for Angel. He doesn't thwart for much though. We can add a charge counter with charge the card. So I could Royal Flush to deliver 9 damage if I didn't want to play Angel. But I'm going to remove the threat, or remove the toughness first. And then we'll go ahead and draw 3. So we got 1 threat incoming, 1 attack from Sabretooth, which will go on Gambit. Expert defense. Exhaust a character you control. No damage, so we remove the threat, and then heal, and then 1 encounter card, which is medical emergency. Okay, well, we really need the ability to ready Gambit. That's very clear, or else he can't really thwart at all. But let's go ahead and go flip to alter ego. Use strength for Creole Charmer. That's really not very good though if we can't have it remove the last threat from a scheme. Well, I think I'm just going to go strength and jump flip for Royal Flush, deal 9 damage. And then add 1 charge counter before flipping to Alter Ego. In fact, I don't think we're going to flip to Alter Ego at all. And we'll go ahead and draw 4. So 2 threat, 1 attack from Sabretooth, which will just face tank, I think, for 4. 1 heal card for 1 encounter card. Master Plan. Okay, that's a lot of threat. Let's go ahead with Gambit's ability, put a charge card out there. Let's get down, pin down for Gambit's staff. Let's go Genius for Forge. I think I forgot to put Utopia in this deck, so I don't think there is an X-Men support. That was a deck building oversight. So let's not play Forge. Let's go. We'll use flip to Alter Ego. We'll use his Charmer ability. Discard Unrelenting Savage and remove 1 threat. That wasn't any better than staying in hero form. Genius for Creole Charmer. And we'll draw 4. So 2 threat. A scheme for 2. A heal for 1. And a counter card. We're lucky we didn't lose right there. Caught off guard can get rid of, hard to ignore. We'll thwart again. Use Forge for Gambit's Guild Armor. Thwart again. Get rid of Feral Rage. Remove 3. We'll flip to hero, add a charge card, and then get Rogue out. We'll use her to thwart. For 2, use Angel to thwart for 1, then we'll draw 4. So 2 threat, 1 attack from Sabretooth. That attack is going to go on Angel, I think. For 1. And then we've got a heal of 1. An encounter card. Infiltration, that's going to surge. Under Fire, 2 more encounter cards. Mystique and Shadow of the Past. That's a big turn for the villain. Belladonna. Quick Strike for 3. We can have Gambit defend that. It's gonna... Gambit's staff will return 1 damage and Gambit's Guild Armor will ready him. Assassin's Guild. This is interesting. So for the hero turn, we can go charged card. Do we want overkill? It'll be 7 damage. Or would we rather have piercing for 6 damage on Mystique? Place 2 threat on the main scheme. We kind of need to use Creole Charmer. Let's go 1-2 for charged card. With the 3 counters, so we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And get rid of her. I don't think we can do that. I think we're going to need Creole Charmer. So we can go 1-2, flip, use Creole Charmer. It's hard to ignore. Actually, I want to put pin down on Mystique. So we'll use Creole Charmer with charged card. Remove 3 threat. And confuse the villain. And then we'll use his Thief Extraordinaire. Let's get rid of that. Remove 1 threat from Medical Emergency. We'll draw 5. So 2 threat, 1 scheme. Yeah, we're not going to survive this. Well, actually, he doesn't scheme. He's confused, but Mystique schemes for 2, and so does Belladonna. We're going to try Gambit with other aspects. It's possible that he may need the villain to be confused in order to reliably switch to Alter Ego. And that would require playing Justice, which has a lot of confuses. His thwarting is so clunky that he may just need Justice in general, even though Justice isn't really that strong of an aspect. But he does have, Gambit does have strong defense and strong attack potential. I think we'll try, given his uniqueness, we're going to try him in all the different aspects and see what happens. So I'm going to build a Justice Gambit deck, and we'll get reset and try again. And we're back, this time with a Justice Gambit deck. And we'll see how he does. So, which of these cards do I like? Probably not Utopia, that's there for when Forge comes in. Followed. The rest are probably fine. So let's use his Thwart. Check the top 2. No boost icon, so let's discard Master Plan. No threat removed. That is terrible. Really, really bad. We can flip to hero, add a charge, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Dazzler, and get a confuse on Sabretooth. Get a thwart for 2. We'll draw 3. So 1 threat, 1 attack from Sabretooth, which will go on Gambit. And he'll exhaust to defend. And that's going to be no damage. And then a heal card, and then an encounter card, which will be the Brotherhood. That's a big one. Okay, well, let's get another charge counter out. Let's get a skilled investigator. Use molecular acceleration for Gambit's staff, which is going to add another charge counter for the molecular acceleration. And that means Rogue will cost just 1. Very good value. And I can't remove the Brotherhood this round. I can do thwart for 2, thwart for 2. Robert Kelly should have 2 damage. And then I can skilled investigator to draw a card. Could have used clear the area earlier. We'll go ahead and just draw 4. Well, natural agility will be decent. So 1 threat, 1 attack, that'll go on Gambit. Natural agility. It's not even really necessary. I may keep it just for... Well, I guess there's no point because I'm going to play Monica Chang with my turn, so... Natural agility will make sure he takes no damage, and then we have a heal card. Then we have 2 encounter cards. Infiltration, which gains Surge. Metamorphic Mayhem. Feral Rage. That's not good. Even in a Justice deck, this is not Gambit's speciality. Sabretooth should have taken 1 damage from Gambit's staff when he attacked. Okay, let's get Monica Chang out, and then we can go search for a surveillance team. There is one in the deck. Add a counter to it. Then we can use surveillance team for 1. Use Rogue for 2, Dazzler for 2. Get rid of the Brotherhood. I forgot to move into phase 2, didn't I? Should be 1 additional encounter card. We'll use Monica Chang for... So wait, that should be 2 threat on there, was it? Anyway, let's use Monica Chang to remove 1 threat from Feral Rage, probably. Skilled Investigator goes off when the Brotherhood's defeated. And then we will go ahead and draw 4. So 1 threat, 1 attack can go on Monica Chang. Attach this to Sabretooth. It's going to be a heal card and then 2 encounter cards. Unrelenting Savage, Sabretooth attacks you. And he gets +1 for this attack. Gets a heal. So wait, what was that boost card? It was +2. So he's at 2, 4, 5 to 3, 2 damage. And then Avalanche. Okay. What do I want to do here? Sabretooth is going to attack when I defeat Feral Rage, but I have to defeat it because I don't think I can rush down Sabretooth with a Justice Gambit deck. You can take out Avalanche with a charged card. So go like Marvel Girl, Beat Cop for charged card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Use Rogue and Skilled Investigator or Surveillance Team to take out Feral Rage. Draw a card with Skilled Investigator. Sabretooth will attack. Robert Kelly's gonna have to tank the damage. 1, 2, 3. And then a heal card for 2. And then I can also play Wiccan. Use him to thwart for 1. And discard the top card, and it is a boost of 0. Gambit's staff should have done 1 damage to Sabretooth. And we'll draw 5. We're stabilizing. So after I played the charged card, I should have added another counter to Gambit because I hadn't done that yet. 1 threat, 1 attack from Sabretooth, which can go on Rogue. 1 heal. 1 encounter card. Medical emergency. It's just a constant stream of side quests. For Gambit's turn, we'll add 1 charge counter. We'll definitely want to play Thieves Guild. Let's go Alter Ego. We'll use the Thieves Guild ability. Look at the top 2. 1 or 1. We'll get rid of Unrelenting Savage. So it's going to remove 1 threat. Thieves Guild can remove 1 more. That is not good. We needed 2. Well, let's get the 2 threat off. We can then go... How many shapeshifter cards are in the discard pile? None? Okay, that's good. So let's go ahead and Creole Charmer. Remove this Metamorphic Mayhem. And, well, the villain's already confused. That's fine. We'll also get an attack. Discard 1 boost. And we'll Surveillance Team for 1 and get rid of Medical Emergency. And then we'll draw 6. You can also Skilled Investigator. Okay, draw 5. Infiltration, discard an ally or support you control. You can discard Surveillance Team. So 1 threat, 1 attack from Sabretooth. Or 1 scheme, I should say, but he is confused. And then 1 encounter card, which is a Blank Surge. Shapeshifter Surprise. Shuffle this into your deck. Okay. To my surprise, we're not in terrible shape here anymore. We'll use the Scheme ability, the Thwart ability. Get rid of Toad. Just remove 1 threat. Thieves Guild removes 1 more. We'll flip to hero, add 1 charge. Let's go. Should we royal flush here? Or no, I think I'm gonna Wraith. And then we'll discard Infiltration and draw 4. So 1 threat, 1 attack from Sabretooth that can go on Wiccan. And 1 heal. 1 encounter card, which is Infiltration. That gains Surge. Adamantium Claws. Okay. So how do we actually win this game? We've managed to deal with all the side quests. We don't have a use for charge counters when we don't have any Gambit events. We can go 1, 2, 3 for Colossus. Attack for 3. Gambit to attack for 2. And then draw 4. So 1 threat, 1 attack, which Gambit will defend. There's Shapeshifter Surprise, so Mystique is going to interplay. Is she still in the deck? There we go with Mystique. And then Gambit will defend. Okay, so no damage and 1 damage in return. Mystique will attack for 1, 2, 3. Take 1 damage. No, she doesn't. We already exhausted that. Then we need 1 encounter. Oh, we need 1 heal card for Sabretooth for 2. And 1 encounter card. That's going to be an acceleration token on the main quest. Actually, Gambit doesn't take 3. Robert Kelly does. Encounter cards, 2 more encounter cards. The villain attacks you. That's going to kill Robert Kelly unless an ally tanks the attack. So Wraith can tank it. Need 1 more encounter card. Or that we need a healing card for Sabretooth and then another encounter card. And this is going to go on Mystique. For plus 5 hit points. That's brutal. Okay. Beat Cop for mission training. Sonic Rifle for Gambit's Guild Armor. 1, 2, 3 damage. Discard, draw 5. Infiltration, discard an ally or support. We'll get rid of Thieves Guild. And we owe an additional encounter card. So 2 threat, 1 attack. Everything should be ready. Gambit will defend. 1, 2, 3, 4, so 1 damage. And then Mystique will attack. That'll have to go on Colossus. Robert Kelly can't tank that. And then we got a heal card for 1 and 2 encounter cards. The Brotherhood and Gang Up. And that is guaranteed to end this attempt. Well, let's move on and try Aggression. Well, Justice did better at managing the side quests than Protection did. The issue is that Justice doesn't do enough to win the game. So we're going to have to go with... Well, we'll try Aggression. Protection didn't do enough to remove the side quests. Justice doesn't do enough to win the game. Let's try Aggression. And we're back. This time with an Aggression deck for Gambit. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, I don't think we want to keep two charged cards. We may want Creole Charmer in the opening hand, though, to deal with Find the Senator. Okay, so let's hope that we can get two boost cards. If we can, this hand may be pretty good. Let's try it out. Look at the top two. Okay, we got our two boost cards. And that's going to remove 2 threat. And then we can use Creole Charmer, probably for just charged card and melee. Remove 3 threat. It'll move us into phase 2. Bring Robert Kelly over. Flip, flip. And also confuse the villain. Then we can flip to hero form, add 1 charge counter, and we'll go warrior skill. And then draw 5. So 1 threat, 1 attack from Sabretooth, which can go on Gambit. And I think we'll exhaust to defend. Don't think we need to use natural agility for this. So no damage, and then a healing card, and then 2 encounter cards. First one, gang up, so that's going to be another attack. Unfortunately, Robert Kelly's going to be taking that to the face. Another healing card. And then we got Metamorphic Mayhem. Well, I think the play is going to be Wolverine. That's one of the best allies in the game. That's going to add a charge counter. And then Gambit will add 1 as well. And Wolverine can attack for 3 with piercing. Then we'll draw 5. Okay, we've got Royal Flush, so that'll be good next round. So we'll go 1 threat, 1 attack from Sabretooth. Gambit will defend. If this attack defeats an ally, it won't, so it's +1 boost for the Metamorphic Mayhem. That's a total of 3 to 3 defense, no problem. A healing card for 2, and then an encounter card, which is Blob. Okay. Well, let's go Valkyrie for Gambit's Staff. No, we can't do that if we want to play Royal Flush, which I do. So we'll go Power of Aggression, Valkyrie, Wasp for Royal Flush. So it's going to be, we'll use Warrior Skill. Remove 1 warrior counter to deal 1 additional damage. We'll do 3 counters. So we're dealing 4 damage for each one. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and add 1 charge counter for the Royal Flush. We'll add 1 charge counter for Gambit's ability. Wolverine should have healed for 1 after the turn began. Then we'll attack for 3 and take out Blob. Actually, we needed to do the attack with Wolverine first for 3, and then the first charge of Royal Flush could kill Blob because he has guard, so that had to happen in that order. And then we'll draw 4. So far, Aggression feels significantly more powerful than Protection or Justice did. So we got one threat coming, we got one attack coming from Sabretooth. That'll go on Gambit. No damage, and then one healing card for 0. Actually, these boost icons should take effect, so 1 damage and 1 heal. Did this come out last round? I can't remember. He maybe should have 1 more HP beyond that. The encounter card is Infiltration, and that surges into Adamantium Claws. Okay, so Wolverine will heal for 1. Add 1 charge counter. I wish we had an attack event, but we do not. We can go 1 for Rogue, though. And 1 for Gambit's Staff. And then have Rogue Thwart for 2. Have Wolverine Thwart for 1. Let me check to make sure there's no Metamorphic or Shapeshifter cards in the discard pile right now. There is one, so that would go back into my deck. Let's have them remove the threat from the injured Senator, and then we'll draw 4. Okay, there's another Royal Flush, so that's good. 1 threat, 1 attack from Sabretooth. Gambit will defend. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 2 damage. And then 1 heal card, that's going to be 4. And 1 encounter card, that's going to be Medical Emergency. So, I'm going to want a Royal Flush here, so we'll go 1, 2, 3 to Royal Flush. It gets +1 for the aggression event, +1 for warrior skill, +1 for Gambit's counters. So we're at a total of 5 damage. So before we do that, let's attack with Rogue for 2. Then we can deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then remove the toughness with the 3rd. Add 1 charge for the Royal Flush. And Wolverine should have healed for 1. I don't think I want to use him to do anything though. Gambit's Staff should have dealt 1 damage. I don't think that would have impacted anything. Anyway, let's go ahead and draw 4. There's Honed Technique. But I don't know that I'll be using it. It's kind of late in the game now. 2 threat. The attack should have dealt 1 retaliate that took out the toughness. So let's have this attack go on Gambit. It's for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Almost kills Gambit. Then Sabretooth needs a healing card. Then we need 1 encounter card, which will be Toad. How much damage do I have? Wolverine heals, so he's got 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12. We got a charge 13. 14, 15. Not enough. Not enough. Well, let's go Power of Aggression for Sunfire. I don't have a lightning resource to get rid of the claws. And I can't uppercut the boss without taking a retaliate and dying. So we'll go 1, 2, 3 for Honed Technique. use Wolverine to take out Toad, use Rogue to thwart, and Sunfire to thwart, and we'll draw 5. Now I need to discard an ally or support. We'll discard Sunfire. So we got 2 threat, 1 attack. Can go on Rogue. 1 heal, 1 encounter card. The villain attacks you, that's going to have to go on Wolverine or we're going to die. Attach this card to a minion and give it a tough status card. Well, this is the problem with, we're seeing the problems with the different aspects illustrated here. With Justice, yes, we could clear the side quests, but we couldn't deal damage. With Aggression, yes, we deal damage, but Gambit's life gets whittled down until he's got a heal, and healing is terribly inefficient. That's why the 2 viable aspects for solo play are protection and leadership. The problem with protection with Gambit is that protection doesn't thwart well, and Gambit doesn't thwart well. There's no real way around that. The requirement that you have to switch to Alter Ego in order to use his thwarting cards is a pretty heavy requirement for solo, because of how much the villain gets every time you switch to Alter Ego. We'll see that illustrated here. I would really love to melee for a massive amount of damage, but I can't because I have to heal. I will add a charge counter. The melee would be 3, 6, 7. 14 damage from melee. Plus 2 for his normal attack. I could do 16 damage here if I had more life. So I think Aggression, Gambit, and multiplayer would be really good. But this is not multiplayer. So let's get out Thieves Guild. Let's flip to Alter Ego and we'll have to heal. And we'll discard those 2 and draw 4. 5 actually. So the villain gets 2 boost. He gets Scheme for 2. He gets Animal Ferocity. Haven't lost yet. Actually gets 3 because of the boost. And 1 encounter card, which will be Shapeshifter Surprise. That's going to bring Mystique into play. There she is. Well, we're not dead. Actually, can I flip and just end the game? I can flip, I can go 1, 2, 3 for melee. Actually, melee is just going to end it, right? Because I spend a science resource. So I increase the damage the event deals by 3. I increase it by 1 for warrior skill. I increase it by 3 for Gambit's token. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 20 damage. So that's an OTK on phase 3 with a melee once we have the full setup. Well, that was interesting. After I went on that rant about how bad it is to switch to Alter Ego. There's a lot of potential here for Aggression Gambit to do some work. I think Aggression has got to be where it's at with the honed technique, melee, charge counter combo. 20 damage is enough to deal with a phase of any villain in the game, really. Let's try Gambit out against Sentinel and see how it goes. Okay, we're back with Sentinel. One interesting thing to note in that last game is that because Retaliate doesn't go off, if the enemy with the Retaliate is dead, if I had realized how much damage melee was going to do, I could have done it the turn before and just killed Sabretooth in one shot, and the Retaliate wouldn't have killed Gambit even though he was at 1 HP, because you can't retaliate when you're dead. Lessons have been learned with this hero. He's very interesting. Let's see how he does against Sentinel. I do not think he's S tier outside of aggression. I think aggression is the place for him. I think he's going to have his niche against scenarios that can be rushed down. I don't think he's good with protection or leadership like a traditional hero, though. He's more in the category of like a Captain Marvel, where she's not good in a lot of scenarios, but in a few scenarios she has like a rush down aggression deck that can do really well. She has that versus Ronin. And I think Gambit will fall into that category. He'll have like a rush down aggression niche. But he's not very good in the traditional style of defend well, clear up the board, win slowly, because of his clunky thwarting. Anyway, we got our 2 side quests, and we need abduction protocols. Do I actually like this hand? Gambit's Guild armor and staff I like. Warrior skill is fine. I guess the other cards will just be used to pay for stuff, so that hand is fine. This scenario starts with a couple of side schemes, so it'll be an interesting challenge for Gambit. Let's use... well, let's thwart. Look at the top 2, and we got a 2, so we'll use that to thwart for 2 off of mutants at the mall. Let's go flip, add 1 charge, molecular acceleration to play Gambit's Guild armor, 2 for warrior skill. I think Gambit's staff is the least priority. We get 1 extra from the molecular, whatever it was, molecular acceleration, and then we'll draw 4. So we got 2 thwart, we got 1 attack. Gambit will defend. You are stunned. Okay, but he does defend for no damage, so he can ready. That'll help get rid of that stun. And then we need 1 encounter card, which will be Sentinel Mark III, which needs an energy barrier. We could really use Wolverine here. He shreds that type of Sentinel. Gambit's gonna have to remove the stun first, add a charge counter, and we have a melee, which I think I'll need to use. Melee, and we'll just, I'm not gonna bother with warrior skill or with throw the card here, because I need both instances to go against the Sentinel, 1 to remove the toughness and 1 to kill it. And unfortunately that means no threat removal, and that means Knight of the Sentinels is going to go off. So 1, 2, place the top card of the deck face down under Operation Zero Tolerance. Remove 5 threat. It's going to be attack from Sentinel. Gambit will defend. 2 damage. And then an encounter card, which is targeted for elimination. It's not that bad. I could get out honed technique. If I use Gambit's staff, I would like Gambit's staff to be used to take out the toughness. But honed technique is so good, I think I need to use it. So we'll go 1, 2, 3 for honed technique. That's the 2 science resources that are needed. And we'll draw 5. So 2 threat, 1 attack, Gambit defends. Give the villain a tough status card. So I already got one, but that means he's gonna ready. And then 1 encounter card, which will be Quick Strike with Sentinel Mark 6, 2 damage. Well, since Gambit is ready, we can use him to take out the toughness on the Sentinel. And then we can go Power of Acceleration, or Power of Aggression, and Psylocke to play melee. We spent a science resource. Warrior Strike. So that's going to be 3, 6, plus 7. So 10 damage. We're not going to use the charge cards on that, or the charges, because I have a Royal Flush. I'd like to use it on that. So we deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I wish I could Royal Flush as well. If I'd used the charges, it was overkill on the minion. But I could have gotten an additional 3 damage on Sentinel with that. Hone technique is not going to work on Royal Flush because it's not an aggression attack event. But anyway, we'll go ahead and draw 3 now. And then we got 2 threat incoming, we got 1 attack incoming, which Gambit will defend. It's going to be 2 damage. And then 1 encounter card, which will be Blank Surge. Sentinel Mark 6, that's going to have guard. So we can go 1, 2, 3 for Royal Flush. With 1 and 1, 2, 3, that's going to be 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 charge. And unfortunately we can't play anything else. So we can just draw 3. Or do I want to discard 2 and draw? Try to get the other melee. No, I'll keep Power of Aggression. We'll just draw 3. And I should also add a token with Gambit's charge the card. So 2, and then another card's going face down here. And then an attack, which Gambit will defend. We'll use Natural Agility this time for +2. And we place 1 charge on him. This time we don't need it, but he's going to ready up. Then we got 1 encounter card, which will be Assault. Well, he'll have to defend again. And this time it's going to be 2 damage. That's funny, but we're not dead. So we don't have an aggression event. We can go 1, 2 for Angel. Attack for 2. And I think we'll flip over to Alter Ego here and then draw 5. If I drew a melee at this point, I could end the game next turn, I think. Where's my melees at? I think I've seen 2 of them. Oh no, all 3 are in the discard pile. Okay. Well, 2 threat. Sentinel's gonna scheme. So he doesn't bring in a... Yeah, okay, I was thinking of Master Mold, who brings in a side. So 1, 2, 3, and then that's going to be another card face down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more and I will lose. Then one encounter card, which will be Mutant Detected. The villain in each minion engaged with you attacks you, even if you're in alter ego form. We're going to have to do that. But unfortunately, that's going to kill Angel, and that'll be game over. Interesting. If I drew the right cards in the right order, I mean, Gambit could definitely win this scenario, and he could win it very quickly. I think he is the best hero of this particular type, the aggression rushdown type of hero. He's going to be very strong in multiplayer with aggression, and I think aggression is the way to play him. He's going to be able to just ignore threat in a lot of scenarios, and if you draw a honed technique early and then a melee. So the next turn I could have put Sentinel into phase 3. If I had a melee, would I have been able to win? I'd flip. I'd attack for and remove the toughness. I'd attack for 2, and then melee would deal +3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, I would have won if I had a melee. So the right cards in the right order make some pretty interesting strategies, some pretty funny strategies. Very, very interesting hero. I like him. He's very unique. And he's the first hero that I've seen, well, apart from like Captain Marvel, where I thought aggression was really strong on him. Because of the way that the charge counters add to melee. Combined with honed technique, you can do some funny stuff. 1 by 1 will be situationally good. But because of the way honed technique interacts with melee is stronger in this deck than Royal Flush is. He is kind of resource starved. See what we can do about that. Maybe this deck needs martial prowess in order to generate strength for attack events or something like that. Could be. Anyway, I enjoyed this hero a lot. He'll definitely be one that I'll want to mess around with more, try to find the best possible version of this aggression deck, and see what it can do. So, thank you for watching.